Presby Pod. My name is Bob Davis. I'm the pastor here at First Presbyterian Church in Carson City. And today, I just want to say welcome to Cynthia Jones. Cynthia is our new bookkeeper, and so we thought this would be a nice opportunity for us to introduce her to all of you. So, Cynthia, welcome.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Good. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where do you come from, and how did you come to us?
Well, I was born and raised in Utah, moved out to Las Vegas in the Henderson area when I was about 22 years old. Lived in Las Vegas for 25 years, and my husband was lucky enough to get a job transfer up here to Carson City, which we really were hoping for, and so here we are. And one day I was looking for a part-time job and came across the ad for a bookkeeper for First Presbyterian Church and thought I would apply for that. It was something that really spoke to me right away when I saw the ad. I just had a feeling. So.
Yeah. And so you've now been with us for a little over a month.
About 2 months, roughly.
Yeah. And so tell us, what have you experienced thus far? What have you seen?
Well, I've experienced a lot. I've been training for 2 months, so we've had a lot of learning and learning curves along the way. I've met a lot of really great people and have been really, really lucky enough to already start building friendships and feeling really good that I'm here and this is a place that I chose to be and they chose me.
What has it been like working with Charlene?
It's been great working with Charlene. She's taught me a lot, and everything that we've encountered together has helped us build a friendship. I'm going to miss her, but I know that she's going to be around, and she'll be here for me when I need to reach out to her.
This is not your first kind of bookkeeping position, right?
No, I've been in many positions as a bookkeeper, and it's been roughly about 25 years that I have bookkeeping skills.
So what are the biggest things that people should know that make your job easier? How can people really help you to do what you need to do well?
That's a hard question. Really, I don't know how to answer that.
Okay.
I mean, I think what I've experienced so far as the bookkeeping procedures throughout the church and the office and all of the people that I'm working with, it's already a really smooth transition for me. So everybody's been great, and I think that there isn't going to be a lot of big changes that I'll have to make in the whole bookkeeping process. So
what are some of the common mistakes that you've seen over your career that people make when they're trying to do things the right way? Like somebody like me who's not necessarily meticulous in paperwork, what are the key things that people can know about working with you that would be helpful or that they could know to avoid?
Okay, I think common mistakes that people make would be rushing through the paperwork. For instance, if they have to fill out a reimbursement form, not rushing through it, making sure it's accurate, it has all the information that's required on the form, signatures, approval signatures. And as far as the bookkeeping goes, what I've learned in the past is you have to have organizational skills. And if you can have the organizational skills, it becomes very routine to you. And that's why I love bookkeeping, because I have that type of personality where I like everything to be organized and done a certain way. And so that helps if people have that same type of mentality as far as wanting to make sure everything is completed accurately before it is processed through the bookkeeper.
Okay. Tell me about Carson City. What have you experienced since you've been here? What have you liked?
I love Carson City. We've been here for about 2.5 years, and we're just so happy because the two of us were born and raised in small towns, but then lived in a large, busy town for 25 years or plus for my husband. And so being here just is very relaxing and calming for us. We know this is someplace that we've planned to retire and live our rest of our lives here, God willing. And we are just really pleased that we had the opportunity to find a house when we needed one, and that the house we have, we just love it. It's so comfortable, and we're really happy.
You have any pets?
We do. We have a little dog we just got. April will be 2 years, and it was really a funny story because I'm not an animal person. Never have been. I was bit by a dog, a big dog, on my 9th birthday. It was really traumatic for me, and so my parents always had pets. My family, and I was like Lucy. They used to call me, get the hot water, boil water, get the towels. But then one day I just, I guess an empty nest type of thing, but my kids are both moved out, and it was just me and my husband. And one day I just decided I wanted a pet. So I went to Reno Humane Society, and he spoke to me. He looked right up at me, and that was it. His eyes just melted my heart. So he's my little companion.
And other visitors around the house? I mean, do you have any, you seen any of the wildlife?
We see a lot of wildlife. We have the cameras installed, and we pick up the bears, we pick up raccoons, birds. What's the other that we were talking about? The deer. The deer, of course. We have so much the bobcat that we saw a couple of the bobcats climb our fence. We caught them on camera and going into our backyard. And so it's really exciting. The hawks, huge hawks in our neighborhood, and it's just a great place to be. We love it. We love being able to see all the wildlife and get to post those on Facebook and let our friends and family see.
And so what do you like to do for fun?
Oh, our biggest thing, I think, we like to do for fun is it's more recreational. We like to hike. We like to walk together. We like restaurants. We don't really do a lot. We're really homebodies per se. We're just content with each other and being home and spending time together after working all day for my husband. We're just really content just being together no matter what we do. So it's pretty awesome.
Tell us about your husband.
My husband's name is Cynthia Jones, and he works for Southwest Gas. He just loves it here after being at Southwest Gas in Las Vegas, Nevada for over 20 years. He was so ready to change into a different department, and he is just thrilled that he's here and loves the people. He's got to really get out and meet the community. He was on the Carson City Chamber of Commerce team. What's the name of the team? The leadership team, excuse me. And he's still a part of the leadership team. So through that, he has met a lot of people. He's got to meet the sheriff and the mayor and several other leaders of different organizations throughout the city. And he's really, really happy.
He was kind of involved in a pretty interesting project.
He was. The leadership team, not last year, but the year before, did a project up behind the hospital by the cancer center. It's called the Bee Habitat, where they built a structure for the bees, and it's right next to the little nursery they have up there. And then they came again this last year and continued that project by planting more trees and pathways up to the trail that leads behind the hospital and up through the hills there. So it's been a really neat project, and if you get an opportunity to go and check it out, you definitely need to.
See his fingerprints on it.
Yeah, there's a lot of, it's a really neat thing because they enlisted a lot of volunteers. People that were on the leadership team were able to enlist volunteers from their employers, excuse me. For instance, Steve was able to get a lot of the work done by Southwest Gas employees, help building the structure. They recruited other companies to come and pour the slab, do the groundwork, and it was all volunteer. So it was a really amazing project.
Tell me about your history with church. Tell me about your faith.
Well, I have been a practicing Christian for most of my life. I was baptized in the Christian church, and I've always had a Christian faith, believing in Jesus Christ as our Savior. And throughout my life, with the ups and downs and trials and tribulations, there's been, struggles like everybody has, but you always have to come back to your faith and know that that's what gets you through, and that's what's been able to get me through. So I'm happy to be here and learn more about the church and become a member of the church, as well as a volunteer down the road. And in addition to my job as a bookkeeper, it's important to me to be a part of the church and have community and fellowship with the members.
Anything that I should have asked that you were hoping I was going to ask you?
No.
No. No, leave me alone. Go away.
I'm kind of a shy person, and I stay to myself a lot. People could take that or misconstrue that as me being standoffish or whatever, but it isn't because that's just my personality. Until I really can get to know somebody and open up to them, it's hard for me. That's just me. So
there's a book out, Gary Chapman, who lists the way that you receive and are able to appreciate being loved. One is words of affirmation. When people tell you you've done a great job, things like that. These are not necessarily exclusive of each other, but they are what strikes you best, what connects with you best. Words of affirmation, gifts, when somebody gives you gifts, touch, and that's hug, handshake, just kind of that physical proximity. Acts of service, spending quality time.
Well, I would say all of it. No,
right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
No, I think quality time. Because, if at the age of, where I am today and what I've been through my life, and meeting my husband, he became my best friend before we got together as a couple and became married. We don't even have to, we could sit in the room together and not say anything to each other, but can still feel the love between us. So I really think it's just...
That's a pretty good indicator of quality time being a valuable thing.
Mm-hmm. It is. And what's awesome about it is we're exactly like each other, and it's a little bit scary because he's kind of the male version of me and I'm the female version of him. We are so much alike, except for he is more outgoing than I am with people. He's a great public speaker because he's had years of training through his company, management training, where he's learned to manage his people. So he's really, really easy to talk to and can talk almost about any subject. Well, and I'm not like that. I'm just like, don't ask many questions. But and in every other way, we like the same things. We have so much in common. Everything the food, colors, furniture, everything. Our tastes are so similar, which is a little odd, but I think it's really unusual and hard to find that in a spouse or a significant other. So I've been really blessed.
Awesome. Any questions you have?
Do I ever have to do this again? I sure hope not. I hope not.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. People may clamor.
Actually, it makes me, it was good for me, though, because it helped me a little bit, feel more relaxed about just where I am.
Well, the other thing is that visually, this will give people an opportunity to see you and experience you before they come into the office.
Right.
And so it lowers their anxiety level as well.
Yeah. Well, there probably is no. They probably don't have a lot of anxiety about meeting me.
You'd be surprised.
Because, once they get to know me, they'll know that, there's no anxiety, I don't think, there, hopefully.